big problem is those, and there's plenty of business owners away from these events that want to come along and they don't, because it highlights the lack of knowledge that they have, and having that lack of knowledge makes them feel exposed.
What is cybercrime then? Well, cybercrime is any crime that's got a digital element to it. It's any crime. It could be an assault, it could be harassment, it could be a fraud, it could be a blackmail. So this list here is endless, isn't it? Because if you think of a road traffic collision now, how many people have got a digital camera in front of, on their windscreens, capturing the evidence? We know that it ranks alongside terrorism as a #1 threat to UK infrastructure. That is cybercrime.
There's now officially more mobile phones than people in the world, 7.2 million. Many of those are smartphones. All points of access, we all keep our information on there. We might have open emails from our company, and we might even keep things like passwords on there. Does anybody do that? Okay, nobody. That's good. Well, nobody's admitting it.
It's things like the GDPR. I was wondering what that was. Obviously, Mick gave a really beneficial presentation on that.
So the European legislation, which is known as GDPR, stands for General Data Protection Regulations. That's coming into force next May 2018, and that is going to reinforce the rights of data subjects, which people like me and you, and what businesses and what's known as data processors and controllers can actually do with your data. So that in effect is going to put greater obligations on businesses to protect your data.
Things like the internet devices, I had no idea that a doorbell could make a problem for me, or the heating controller that I've just bought could also cause problems.
Our main role is making sure our customers are safe, so we'll put things in place to make sure all the security's got the right at the right level. We've got the different layers of security. We can't just rely on an antivirus. You've got to have a layered security model, a little bit like the castle what we talked about in the event.
These are hackers who enjoy the challenge of hacking computers because they can. We all know about TalkTalk. We know that it was a 16-year-old, don't we? That was in the bedroom. They just thought, let's go for it. And that's what they did.
What have you learnt today?
Absolutely masses. I thought I knew quite a lot about cybersecurity and what you could do, but I have learnt so much. I filled half a pad actually with all the notes and everything, and I'm going to go back and start making policies and things like that so that I can put it into practice.
We've got the average age of a cyber criminal, if you look at Action Fraud, who are the main repositories of all crime reports in the UK, so the average age of a cyber criminal is 17 years old. 17.
The key thing is actually monitoring everything to actually make sure there's no alerts. So if people often will just click on things without looking, so if a virus alert comes up on the PC, they might just click on it, whereas we'll get an alert on our dashboard, and if that alert keeps going back, we know we have to take action. So that's the main role, just keeping our customers safe. Email security, so your email account is extremely valuable to cyber crooks. Ask David Beckham. Can be used for all sorts of scams and often very sensitive data in it. Again, ask David Beckham. Can be used to attack your customers. So often smaller companies are used as a conduit to attack the bigger customers. So if you're a Tesco supplier, for instance, and the Tesco's accounts department receives an email from you, they're much more likely to open it than they are from somebody else. Make sure you don't send them crypto viruses by your email being compromised.
I think prior to the conference I had a little bit of information about things like phishing and the threat that that can pose, and also the importance of things like firewall protection, and also things like not opening up unsolicited emails or clicking on links that have come through on emails.
Be aware of your rights as an individual or as a data subject, but more importantly, take measures to protect your data yourself. Don't rely on a third party to do it.
I think today has just opened up a whole possibility of items everyday household items that can be hacked.
It made me realise how bad the situation is, and it's not going to go away. We've just got to minimise the impact it's going to have on us in general, and do those things that we should be doing to protect ourselves.
So things like keyless cars, things like your fridge that's connected to the internet, things like your TV. So it's all of these things that are basically hackable. So that's been quite eye-opening today.
Well, I've been very impressed by the quality of the panel members, being able to cover the subject from the different angles, from Vanessa with the police force and Steve with his IT skills. And yeah, it's been very effective. They've covered all the questions and answer session was very effective. Yeah, excellent.
I think being more vigilant, so being more vigilant about things like emails, and particularly accessing things like internet banking when I'm out and about and using public Wi-Fi. I mean, that was one thing that I wasn't really aware of, was the threats to public Wi-Fi being hacked. So for me personally, it'll be about not necessarily tapping into those Wi-Fi hotspots that are available free of charge in city centres, and being careful about what data I'm actually sending over the internet when I'm out and about.
Without this event, I wouldn't have known what I know now. Neither would half of those businesses in there. They've done an absolutely fantastic event, getting so many people and so many experts into one room in such a short time. Absolutely amazing.
Today has been a huge successful conference on cybercrime. The guest speakers all gave invaluable insight on how to protect your clients' data, as well as their own. Netpoint Solutions certainly left us all something to think about. This is Leah Campbell for Kirklees Public Eye.